And paid good for that one fight. Why don't we do it 3 times this year? We're gonna get more money anyway. It's a no-lose situation. It's all up. It's all a win. Everything's a win. You're getting in shape. You're getting paid more money than you ever did before.
Floyd Mayweather, that is clearly going broke. This is the truth. There is no speculation. I told you guys. Floyd owes a lot of people a lot of money, and he don't have it. And Paul also discussed this, and this is probably the best screenshot I couldn't gotten on this video. My God, his ramen noodle hair is flying in the wind, and there's no wind in that place. But Logan dropped some knowledge that Floyd is still scamming him for their 2021 fight.
Mike Tyson reportedly revealed that Floyd Mayweather requested additional money in his fight contract despite facing financial difficulties, raising concerns about his bankruptcy situation and overall spending habits.
All gonna hate on Floyd, so they will want to see the fight. They want to see Floyd get beat. But are they going to fight?
I know they're going back and forth.
Yeah, I don't think they would matter. If he wants to make some money, Floyd wants to make some money. If he wants to make some money, he could fight your guy, Jake.
Wade Clemens reflects that the most unfortunate aspect is not Floyd Mayweather's bankruptcy itself, but rather that someone who earned immense wealth is now facing hardship due to poor financial management.
Because he owed so much money to them and had apparently not much of it in liquidity, not much that he could actually spend, or at least that's what his representative said. His representatives wrote back to the IRS, this true story, you guys can look it up, that he could not make the payment. He couldn't do it. He didn't have $22 million liquid in cash for a guy that had made, up until that point, let's just say $900 million, because he made $300 million fighting Conor. He didn't have $22 million sitting around in a bank for all that cash he's flexing, for all those cars, for all the places. And again, I'm not saying that multi-millionaires and billionaires have $1 billion liquid, but you couldn't have found 22 mil. So his representative said, wait, we're going to have this fight and then he'll pay you after.
Joe Rogan notes that Floyd Mayweather earned unprecedented amounts of money, yet his lavish spending led to financial difficulties, showing that wealth still requires careful management.
Even as much money as he's made in his career, which he's probably made as much, if not more money than any boxer ever. Like, there's all these lawsuits. Like, he hasn't been paying things, and he owes money on this and owes money on that. And it's like, and then he's got to come out of retirement.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. I think it's just the lifestyle that Floyd lived.
Yes.
I think he can't fathom to just live a modest lifestyle. It's like he got to be lavish.
Right. He's got to have those videos where it shows you all the watches, where he opens the case up, you know.
All the money. He got to show that he got $1 million in his backpack. And, you know, he got the latest watch and the latest car, and look what I just bought.
And when you get into latest watches and latest cars, you get into that like, boy, that money goes quick.
Yeah.
Bugattis are like $3 million. There's watches that are $3-5 million.
Whack 100 explains that much of the media narrative about Floyd Mayweather being broke is exaggerated, suggesting his return to the ring may be driven by 3:283 minutes, 28 seconds boredom rather than purely financial reasons.
Rule number 1 is, if Floyd ain't talking about it and Floyd ain't promoting it, then it's just talk.
They're accusing him of going broke because he's looking for these fights.
They've been accusing Floyd of going broke for 20 years. Now, let's talk about going broke. Maybe down to 200 million. Maybe that's his broke. I don't know.
Maybe that's his broke.
What I do know is his homes are still there, because when he tell me to come see him, it's the same addresses. Every time he called me, it's stars on the roof. Right? So I don't know, unless somebody is hacked into this man's finances. They always accuse the man of going broke. So maybe he's bored.
Mainly 50.
Maybe he's bored.
Simon Jordan notes that boxing is gaining exposure through new platforms like Netflix, which pays fighters substantial sums, and predicts that the Mayweather-Tyson matchup will generate massive revenue.
It's a natural evolution. Netflix started as a concept that used everyone else's content, and then started to commission their own content. They started to make their own films. You know, The Irishman was a film made for Netflix with Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci, and they started to build out their own content. They're now a business that has huge reach, huge opportunity, and sports is a massive passion center. It's a massive driver. Why would you not have versions of sport? They've dipped their toes in with Drive to Survive and all the other different shows that have ultimately been in the past, which whether it was them that did Drive to Survive, I can't remember. But so, and I'm surprised, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see Amazon come and play more regularly in this. And what it is, and what it should be, is good for the sports in terms of the economics that they bring to the sports. The more eyes that are on the prize, the wider the net, the bigger the interest levels come. I remember talking to Turkey Al Sheikh about Netflix, because obviously he's got an interest in...
Dan Le Batard discusses the staggering earnings of Floyd Mayweather, emphasizing that very few athletes have ever made comparable amounts. He notes that Mayweather mastered pay-per-view revenue, ensuring most earnings went directly into his own pocket. Operating as an independent businessman-athlete with control over his contracts and promotions, he achieved nearly unparalleled financial success. Despite this, Le Batard remarks that losing such enormous sums requires extreme fiscal irresponsibility, something he finds almost incomprehensible.
While, athletic money being blown is a bit of a cliche, there are very few athletes ever who have made the kind of money that Floyd Mayweather has made. And because he's the best in the history of pay-per-view at making sure that the money ends up in his pocket. He is or has been a businessman as an athlete that almost doesn't have a peer because he owns all his own stuff as an independent. Your spending has to be so fiscally irresponsible to lose the amount of money that Floyd Mayweather has lost that it is almost beyond anything that is reason. It's not merely fiscal insanity. It's something that doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. And another sign of him maybe in financial...
As of February 2026, Floyd Mayweather initiated a $340 million lawsuit against Showtime Networks and former executive Steven Espinoza, reflecting attempts to recover funds. Over his career, Mayweather reportedly earned more than $1.2 billion from fights alone. Dan Le Batard points out that his spending habits could have approached $1 billion over the last 25 years, highlighting the difficulty of sustaining such a lifestyle. He recalls a story from South Beach where Mayweather casually paid $10,000 in cash for a few beach chairs, illustrating extreme extravagance. Le Batard also references Don King and Muhammad Ali, noting how boxing contracts and cash handling have historically influenced fighters' earnings. Even with losses, Mayweather's total earnings surpassed those of athletes like Tom Brady, underlining both the scale of his career and the challenges of financial management in boxing.
February 2026, Floyd Mayweather has initiated a massive $340 million lawsuit against Showtime Networks and former executive Steven Espinoza. So he's trying to get some bread right now.
The estimate is that he made over $1.2 billion over the course of his career in just earnings from fights.
Yeah, I think a question though that you should also ask outside of like how much has he made is how much has he spent, because I would say he's fully capable of spending close to $1 billion in the last 25 years.
You say that, but I not to turn into the movie Brewster's Millions from the 1980s. It's hard to spend that money. It really is hard to spend that much money and end up in a situation where you have to fight at 49 because you're so used to a lifestyle that brings in giant amounts of money that the only way for you to make a giant amount of money is to do what he's presently doing.
Wade Clemens analyzes the financial situation of Floyd Mayweather, highlighting that while he owns supercars, jewelry, and other luxury items, his ability to retain wealth appears limited. Clemens notes that Mayweather is an exceptional businessman in marketing himself and generating income, yet his spending habits suggest poor asset management. The fact that he continues fighting to maintain his wealth indicates he has not preserved the money he earned efficiently. Clemens references former Mayweather fighter Ish Smith, emphasizing that professional boxers rarely come out of retirement near 50 years old unless financial pressures exist. He points to reports from Business Insider detailing that Mayweather owes $1.4 million in jewelry, hundreds of thousands in rent, jet fuel, and maintenance, and has used jets and properties as collateral for a $54 million loan with 9% interest. Additionally, 2 of his commercial properties have been foreclosed, and tax liabilities on his Vegas strip club remain unpaid.
And there are other supercars and jewelry, yeah, I know it can appreciate, but like that, supercars, all this other stuff, Floyd is the greatest businessman of selling himself, but he is not clearly, from all indications, a good businessman in retaining assets that actually keep his money safe. Because if he needs to continue fighting all the time to be able to retain all the money he made, then it's not a good indication that he did well with the money he had at the time he made it. In fact, it's the opposite of that. It's the indication that he spent so much and got so little out of it that it's starting to hurt more and more. I mean, again, here's one of Floyd's old fighters, Ish Smith, talking about Floyd. He was under Mayweather for a long time. Read in between the lines. People don't come out of retirement for the love of the game damn near 50, not how boxing works.
Wade Clemens stresses that these financial struggles are not speculation, but documented realities. He notes that despite earning over $1.2 to $2 billion during his career, Floyd Mayweather has lost roughly 70 to 90% of his wealth due to mismanagement and extravagant spending. Even with charitable challenges proposed by 50 Cent or lawsuits over contracts exceeding $340 million, Clemens underscores that Mayweather's ability to earn money far exceeds his ability to maintain it. Finally, Clemens concludes that while fans may debate his personal choices, observing Mayweather in exhibition fights against Mike Tyson or other challengers demonstrates a continued focus on generating income rather than preserving his legacy.
Back, that's the facts. We had the Business Insider article, which, I mean, they went deep into detail. They got so into it, I think in even a past article of Floyd's, that Floyd sued him for $100 million. I don't know what the case is there. I don't know what the standing is, but they got deep into the weeds with this, talking about how they said that, I mean, things that they said in this article were insane. That Floyd owes like $1.4 million in jewelry debts, that Floyd owes like hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent for a private New York apartment, his private jet fuel. He's not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fuel and maintenance. He put up one of his jets that I think he even sold, but one of his jets and I want to say one of his properties, like one of his homes, up as collateral for a $54 million loan from an individual, from a billionaire that had a 9% interest on the loan.
WAC 100 explains that the amounts Floyd Mayweather earns, including hundreds of millions for exhibition fights, don't define him financially. He suggests Mayweather continues performing out of boredom or opportunity, not necessity. WAC 100 emphasizes that Mayweather is making smart, sound investments and managing his wealth carefully. The scale of these earnings, including fights with Mike Tyson and Manny Pacquiao, demonstrates that he is far from broke. Observed spending and investments indicate financial stability, contradicting claims of bankruptcy. According to WAC 100, Mayweather's strategy shows he retains significant wealth while still capitalizing on high-profile fight opportunities.
Because he's still performing like he always has. Maybe he's bored. Maybe somebody came and told him, man, we got $200-300 million, man, to get in the ring with, we got $150 million to get in the ring with Mike Tyson on some exhibition shit. And then 6 months later, we got $300 million for you to get in the ring with Manny Pacquiao. He look it up, he like, that's $450 million. Sometimes you miss the light. But I can guarantee you, he ain't broke. He's making a lot of sound investments. You hear me, Cam Capone?
Yep.
This I know for a fact. He's making a lot of sound investments. And the investments I've seen being made.
Sean Porter comments on Floyd Mayweather's decision to take another fight, suggesting that it may actually be a smart move. Porter believes Mayweather is capable of handling the physical and mental demands of stepping back into the ring even at this stage of his career. He emphasizes that the fight presents not only a challenge, but also a unique opportunity for Mayweather to capitalize on his experience and name recognition. According to Porter, participating could allow Mayweather to continue building his legacy, showcase his skills, and potentially secure a significant financial reward. He notes that strategic decisions like this are part of what has made Mayweather successful, highlighting the calculated approach behind his career choices and his ability to turn high-profile fights into advantageous moments.
What you don't want to do, what we've seen Mike Tyson do against Jake Paul, is you don't want to get in that ring and you having driven that car in so long that the engine runs hot, So both these guys, I think they're more than anything, they're trying to show us how serious they are about doing it again against one another. So
Sean, how shocked were you when you found out that Floyd was coming back? Last time he fights is in 2017 against Conor McGregor. The guy has not fought, I said more than a decade, almost a decade, I should have said, in almost a decade. Even when you're Floyd Mayweather, that's got to be a hard thing to do, and especially when you're 49 years old.
So there's some really good pros about it. You know, he's done some exhibitions. He's shown that he still has the abilities that he's had. They're clearly not what they used to be, but they're still there. You know, and then beyond that, the fact that he lives a good, clean life.
Henry expressed deep skepticism regarding the upcoming Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson fight, describing it as overwhelmingly motivated by financial gain. He questioned the rationale behind Tyson's return to the ring after his exhibition with Jake Paul, calling the decision unusual and difficult to justify from a sporting perspective. Henry argued that these types of comeback exhibitions are primarily designed to attract attention, generate massive paydays, and capitalize on fan curiosity rather than display legitimate boxing talent. He emphasized that while both Mayweather and Tyson are iconic athletes with extraordinary careers, relying on their names for profit risks undermining the integrity of the sport. According to Henry, true boxing is built on skill, discipline, and competitive merit, whereas these spectacle-driven events blur the line between sport and entertainment, leaving purists frustrated as financial incentives increasingly dictate high-profile matchups.
Floyd Mayweather made close to $1 billion in his career. I mean, his career earnings are absolutely insane. His activities since then almost feel kind of demeaning to his legacy, I suppose you could say. Well, I can tell you that I did a little digging, and actually there are a number of lawsuits that are currently active against Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s name, and they're worth a significant amount of money. From controversies around endorsing certain cryptocurrencies, to millions of dollars worth of unpaid luxury items, and even allegations of unpaid luxury apartment rent. These are all alleged, and these are all the cases that currently exist against him. There's no record of some kind of settlement, and as far as I know, a lot of these are ongoing. To add to that, Mayweather even lodged his own case against Showtime, and he did that this year, reportedly seeking damages of $340 million. And the allegation there is apparently there's been a misappropriation of his.
As a dedicated boxing fan, Henry finds this trend frustrating. He argues that bringing retired legends back for exhibitions undermines the integrity of the sport, shifting focus from athletic skill and tactical mastery to spectacle and celebrity appeal. In his view, matches like these are designed to attract attention, maximize revenue, and feed public curiosity rather than contribute meaningfully to boxing's history or competitive standards. Henry also pointed out the contrast between these exhibitions and traditional fights, where athletes earn their reputations through years of rigorous training and competition at the highest levels. He emphasized that while Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson remain iconic figures, using their names purely for financial gain sets a concerning precedent. For Henry, this fight highlights a growing trend in boxing where spectacle often overshadows sport, leaving purists questioning whether such events truly honor the craft or simply capitalize on celebrity and nostalgia.
Exactly is this happening now? I think a lot of it is to do with just the basic thing of money. The fact that they both need money. Mayweather probably needs it a little bit more than Pacquiao does, but it's there no matter what. One of the strange truths about this one coming into it is they're both going to be having exhibition bouts in the next couple of months. Pacquiao is randomly taking on Ruslan Provodnikov, who some of you may remember was a champion at 140 pounds. And Mayweather's taking on Mike Tyson of all people. I mean, that's the most money motivated thing I've ever heard. It's utterly bizarre. And I don't want to see Mike Tyson anywhere near the ring again, especially after that Jake Paul fiasco. This whole thing's incredibly weird. I don't like it. I'm a proper boxing fan, and these fights to me, this OAP stuff they've got going on when they bring back these old fighters for one more go at each other, it's just not something that I particularly enjoy. Now look, it's going to be on Netflix. It's probably going to be a massive event. I'm probably going to end up covering